Hi, I'm Lemmy from lotr. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have the craziest video I've ever made. Took me 10 hours or something. I still have to edit the footage, so I don't know how many hours, but in total I spent almost a whole week non-stop painting. Well, not non-stop, I still had to eat and, you know, have a life a little bit sometimes, just, yeah. But I go outside sometimes. So yeah, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm painting 84 erebor warriors, like the title or the thumbnail probably says. I don't know yet. And today is gonna be a little different. It's the first video I'm recording while it's 2025. The previous video was actually recorded by the end of 2024. I pre-recorded some videos because I'm going through some things in life right now. I'm finally getting my autism diagnosed. So yeah, that means that I have to see a lot of people at a lot of different places, and it takes some time from editing and painting. But it goes hand in hand with what I want to do in 2025, and that's less videos, but bigger videos, like this one, painting 84 warriors all in one go. One giant batch painting session. And fuck me, I have some tips and tricks. First one, don't fucking do it. It was fucking... it was actually pretty cool. It was very nice and so satisfying. The end when you get to place all 84 warriors with the rest of your warriors. Ooh, fucking amazing feeling. But yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself, so in 2025 there will be less regular videos, but probably bigger videos. That's the plan at least. That might change. Like that time I said I was gonna try to do some Napoleonics. Not gonna happen. Oh hell no. Nope. I don't find a rulebook that satisfies me and my Napoleonics cravings, and the 1 in 72 scale I decided to go for was way too small, and I only realized that after spending way too much money. So I cannot paint it, I don't know how to play them, and yeah, not gonna happen, sorry about that. So yeah, let's go just right into the craziness. First of all, the lead belcher. I already based all the 84 dwarves. I put them together in one of the previous videos, and after basing them, painting the bases, I realized how fucking crazy of a thing this was for me to do. I usually paint one dwarf, maybe up to 3 dwarves a day if I'm just painting regularly for fun, trying to get as many details in them as I can be fucked with, because I'm not gonna paint them like heroes. But yeah, the lead belcher stage was probably the most satisfying one, because most of these models are just fucking armor. They're just lead belcher. I'm also referring while painting to one of my previous videos, because in the description I also put the whole painting scheme, so I followed that, so that was nice. I could follow my own painting scheme just to make sure they matched up with the other erebor dwarf warriors I have. I cannot speak for the life of me today, fuck. Why am I recording? So yeah, at first I took a big broad brush and I just slapped the lead belcher where lead belcher is supposed to go, all the armor parts. And the fun part about this is it's very satisfying, because 80% of your model is already painted, but fuck, the other 20% is still a lot of work, so I had to be clever about it. And that's gonna be one of the next steps I'm gonna explain, but right now I want to stay with lead belcher, because I know I have about 3 or 4 hours of footage that I'm gonna show you. I'm not gonna talk over every piece of the footage, because it would just be a blur. You would be seeing it would be crazily sped up. But yeah, the lead belcher, I fucked my new brush. I got it for Christmas from my sister, and I just kept going, and I didn't wash it enough, so the paint started drying in the brush. Something I learned while doing this, because usually when you paint one model, don't tend to paint for 3 hours straight with one color. So be careful of that, and clean your water regular. Just remind yourself to clean your water as well. So dried bark is the second big step. Most of the dwarves have a lot of cloth still showing through. I painted their hands with gloves as well. It makes it a little easier, less different paint schemes. And this is when I realized it was going to be important to take this step by step by step. Because I never really paint in batches, and definitely not in a batch of 84. But yeah, I went with dried bark and I had to be a little bit more careful now. I mean, I don't want to keep touching up the lead voucher parts, but I also don't want to forget parts that should be dried bark, because then in a later stage when I notice I have to come back with that, and it's a hassle. So it was very hard to keep focused on every model I was painting for hours on end, and not forgetting, oh yeah, his right hand should still be painted and everything. But I learned a lot, mainly that it didn't seem like much work, because most of them just have a bit of cloth showing on their arms and in between their armor plates on the bottom. It's still a lot of work. It's still a lot of work. At this point I realized this wasn't gonna be 2 days worth of painting, this was gonna take a whole week. And that demoralized me a little bit, but still I went on, because I realized how satisfying it was gonna be to not just put 1 or 2 dwarves on my display board, but like 84 of them. It was going to be massive, it was going to be so intensely satisfying that I just powered through it, and boy, did I need to power through it. Next up is Ashen Grey, and this one was one of my favorites because this was the first time I didn't have to paint every model, because some of the models don't have those flappy bits in between their legs. That sounds very sus. Oh, it sus. I've been watching too much brain rot. So yeah, not everything has those flaps in between their legs. I have no fucking clue how they're called. So that eliminated quite a lot, like 10 or 20 dwarves that I didn't have to paint. And that was a little more boost to my morale. It was really energizing, like, yeah, I don't have to do this 84 times, because With each step I had to be way more careful than the previous step to not fuck up the previous step or one of the previous steps, because that would bite me in the end later on. So yeah, I just try to fly through these, and yeah, did I cover everything perfectly? I mean, no, definitely not. Here and there you can see little bits of the base coat still shining through, and yeah, it's very rushed paint job, but since there are 84 of them, if I put them all together nobody's gonna notice. There is a little speck of fucking Abaddon black, or however it's called, Chaos black, one or the other. Still a little bit shining through that ashen grey. Once again I powered through. Now, Corvus Black, and this is a fun part because I just did Corvus Black on the axe handles that are actually axes and not just Grimhammer hammers with the long end snipped off and just normal hammers one-handed. I left that metal just to make it easier for myself, but still painting all those axes took about 2 hours, I think. Making sure I didn't forget anything, and yeah, it's taxing after a while. But I realized to keep myself motivated, just had to do one big thing, and that's looking at my display board and see the big empty hole that I knew was gonna be completely filled up once I painted everything that I was trying to paint the 84 warriors. So I just went there and I looked at it for a little bit, and that really actually got me motivated to just power through this and just paint them as fast and as good as possible. Did I really put all my effort into painting those? Yeah, but not really, because usually I would notice more of the details and try to do something with it, like their belts for example, or make their gloves a different color. But I realized that would add a day or two to my painting scheme, my painting journey should I say. So I didn't do it, just because I could not be fucked. And in the end it doesn't really, you don't really fucking notice. So that's a little spoiler, but yeah, I just powered through it. Now came the question of the beards. Now, dwarf beards, In the Hobbit movies, if you can stand through them because they're awful, can't change my mind on that one. But of course the dwarves, they're still kind of cool, they're fucking dwarves. And you can see they have different color beards. One beard is way darker than the other, some of them are a little grey or fully grey, like my boy Balin. And I realized I could not just paint every fucking beard in Moonfang Brown or something, so I had to divide up my forces, and so I just took 3 randomly sized parts of the army. I just divided it in 3 and put a paint pot at each of the 3 parts that I just created. And the first one was Administratum Grey. It's a paint that I just bought, never used it, thought it would look great for beards, and boy was I right. And the first part was just the beards, I just painted Administratum Grey. And some of the beards are pretty short, some of them are long, and since it's a random amount that I'm painting, it doesn't look planned and it will look a little bit more organic, especially when I divide them up in my close to 150, maybe even more erebor dwarves that I have right now. So yeah, I just went with that. Now, once again the beards, the second randomly decided part from the dwarf army got a beard color called Moorfang Brown. Probably heard of it. So I just did what I did with Administratum Grey. I just painted it Moorfang Brown, powered through it, and since it's 3 smaller parts, it made it way easier to look at it and be like, oh fuck yeah, I'm making progress. Because instead of looking at one big part and thinking, oh fuck, I still have to paint 80 fucking dwarves with this one color, I just looked at the part that I was painting and realized just 10 more Moonfang Brown beards and I'm done with this part. And that's a real morale boost. If you want to keep going and you really want to power through it, maybe you can apply it in your own painting schemes while you're doing big batches, but fucking loved it, and it made the time feel like it was flying by way more than, for example, the Lead Belcher part. Now for the last beard color, because we divided it in 3, I decided to use Tundra Brown, mainly because I didn't want a lot of dwarves having like really dark to almost black beards, because you don't really see all that much black beards in the Hobbit movies or in the Lord of the Rings. I mean, look at Gimli. So I just used Tundra Brown, another darker color, just a darker brown color that won't look too similar to the color of the cloth parts of their armor, or under their armor actually, but you know what I mean. Just to make sure it stands out a little bit more, and I think it looks great. And once again, it really gave me a morale boost while painting, so double thumbs up for that. I needed it at this point because I'm at step 7 from the 10. Still have a couple of more steps, and these steps will be the big steps. These will start to feel the army like a whole and make it so much more fun to be at that part. This is the last of the sucky parts. Let's call it that. The first of the fun parts is Nuln oil. And why is it fun? Because you can pretty much drown almost your entire model in it, except for the beards of course, unless it's one of the Administratum grey beards. I just used the black wash on that. But the browns I've painted are gonna be, that's not English. It is English. Those beards, I'm gonna start over. So the parts that are brown are gonna be painted later on with a different shade, but now I'm focusing on Nuln oil. Fuck me, I was sweating because it takes a little while to dry, and I didn't want it to go on the brown because it's gonna look shit, and yeah, just a lot of work. But fuck me up the asshole. Once I was almost halfway through the painting process of the Nuln oil painting process, I looked at the models I've already painted and I realized the Nuln oil was almost dry. And that was so much fun because I could finally really see how they were gonna turn out, and they looked fucking amazing. And that just, that made me want to do it far faster, and it really kept me going seeing those models, the Nuln oil dry, and seeing them just turning into erebor warriors in front of my eyes while I'm still Nuln oiling them, I think is a vowel. I don't fucking speak any language. While I was Nuln oiling them. So yeah, that was fucking amazing. It really kept me going. I was sweating like me. I'm a sweaty guy, I'm a fat sweaty guy. I'm a nerd, and autistic, and obsessed with Lord of the Rings, and I wear Hawaiian t-shirts. I am a stereotype. Okay. So it really motivated me and I just kept going. So now the Nuln oil is dry. Now it's time for one of the final parts. One more part after this, but this is Agrax earthshade. And it's gonna transform those brown beers and the cloth we've painted into something depth, and it's gonna make it look almost done. And some of the models will be done. You'll see in a second, but this, I could see and smell the finish line. I went back to my display case, display part. I went back to where I display my dwarves, looked at the big empty hole, got filled with energy and just fucking painted my way through it, and boy, did I fucking paint. And I just put on some music, blasted it, painted, and I think I was done within an hour or two, and I still had time left that same day to keep painting. So what did I do? I did the final step, grey sear, that's what I did. Not all of the models have those grey flappy parts, but some of them have the cloth underneath their armor hanging out like a skirt in a weird way. I don't know, their tunic I think it's called, I don't fucking know. It's not, I'm not smart, am I? So I just try to give most of the dwarf warriors that grey sear just final touch to make it look like my other dwarves that I already painted, and it just gives them a little oomph. You won't say they were batch painted in a week by a big sweaty man locked in his hobby room, but boy, and I just flew through this. I didn't care at this point if the lines were perfect, because I knew I was gonna do it like 70 more times after the first model, so nothing is gonna be perfect when you have to paint it 70 times in a row. But in the end it still looked good. And at this point I could smell the finish line. I was getting delirious with the joy of realizing that I just painted 84 warriors all in a row, all pretty well fucking painted. I didn't think I would paint this well if I had to paint so much in a row. So now, by the end of painting this, I set up my camera system because yes, I'm recording this for YouTube, and I just started placing dwarfs. They were all finished, they were all dry. I didn't think I was gonna be done the same day I started Agrax earthshade part, but here I am, they are dry. And I just started putting them in and I was feeling amazing, and I saw the army grow, and I started to realize my Iron Hills warriors are in the fucking way. I thought I had enough space and I didn't, and that was such a fucking good feeling. I realized then that I had a fuck off big army, and I do mean a fuck off big army. I stopped recording for a little bit, took away the Iron Hills warriors and everything from that shelf, put it on another shelf. I just started rearranging things, and this is how it fucking looks now. It's just a sea of erebor. All you can see plus the 13 dwarves, Gandalf and Bilbo. I technically haven't painted Thorin and Thror or Train. I don't fucking remember that. So yeah, I have a full fucking shelf of these beautifully painted erebor warriors, and I all did it pretty quick. But now I can't fucking stand to see erebor warriors. I cannot lie. I'm gonna take a break from erebor warriors for a little while. And just when I was saying that to myself, I realized one thing. I got a Christmas present. I have erebor captains that I still need to fucking put together and paint. And I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be its own video how I convert them a little bit. I'm gonna Gonna adjust them a little bit, make them a little bit more my own. But that's gonna be a future 2025 video, because right now I am fucking done with painting them. And I love how they came out. I'm gonna do some crazy shit this year. I already have some crazy projects planned out, some pretty big projects as well. So I'm sorry if you're waiting for me to upload on the days that I usually upload. I'm gonna be late. Maybe I will only upload one video a month. But I'm gonna try and make it as big as a video as I can, like this one where I do some bigger, crazier shit. Just 1 second. I don't know if it comes through on camera. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 8 sprues of Khazad-dûm dwarf warriors. And I think this is about 4 videos worth of content. Usually I only paint 1 warrior, and just to show you the color scheme from Khazad-dûm. And yeah, you know how that house is painted, and that's eventually how I'm gonna do the 7 houses. But I want to do it different. I want to paint 2 sprues of each house and just go nuts and record almost everything about it, so you guys have a bigger video and you can see the progress of the army way better. And I got some other things planned. I hope I will see you again this year, hopefully multiple times. So yeah, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, share, do everything you want to do or do nothing at all. Either way is fine with me. Just hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Please tell me I was fucking recording. Oh lord.